Getting messy in Angola.
Texas sues Roblox.
My main goal is to blow things up and then act like I don't know al-Baghdadi.
All this and more on this week's episode of News Sensation.
Hello and welcome back to News Sensation, where we take you through the weirdest and wildest stories of the week that was, sometimes in the most electric headlines you can possibly think of. I'm Matty Curry.
And I'm Chris Patel. And I think if you've never seen the show before, this might be the week to start. Because we've got the sublime to the absolutely ridiculous in terms of news stories that we're serving you up today. It's been quite a week, hasn't it, Matty?
It's been a really, really crazy week. I mean, you showed me your document of all the stories like crossed out that you'd gone over and thought about. There's so many different things that have gone down. And just this morning, I'm getting out my house to come here to record this show. And all I'm hearing is that Downing Street are alleging that Wedge Streeting is trying to coup Keir Starmer. And we just want to clear things up on this show. We're all about clarity here.
We are.
We're the ones trying to coup.
Yeah, I really, want Morgan McSweeney's, hand in this. I think he's got some good ideas. We've just not seen them yet. Honestly, if West Streeting is trying to coup him, which it seems at the moment like he's not, it takes big balls. We need some big bald leadership.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I'm not talking about, the bald hairy. The Russian system they got going
bald leadership. Honestly, to be fair, I think we could do with a few bald blokes getting in there.
Yeah.
I think there's a real sense in life, and maybe I'm saying this because male pattern baldness runs in my family, but once you have stripped yourself of the sort of luxury of follicles and you've accepted that sometimes life ain't going to go your way, I think that gives you a certain strength, responsibility, and understanding that really makes you a keen leader.
The bourgeois luxury of hair.
That being said, there is one man who is known for his slicked back gelled look and ravishing appearance, who has really been making some headlines this week. But before we get into it, if you're really enjoying this show already and you want to see more from New Sensation, you can follow us on our social medias, on Instagram at New Sensation,
or on TikTok at New Sensation Pod, or you can email us if you find... there's so many stories that we crossed out on our sheet.
Oh, yeah.
If you find any news stories that you think we should talk about, so you want to hear, just two man's opinion.
Just
two guys' opinions.
Just guys' opinion.
No, it's free speech. Then you can email us at newsensationpod@gmail.com.
That's newsensationpod@gmail.com. But now it's time to talk the man of the hour. The hour?
The man of the hour.
The man of the hour.
The man of the ever brass club.
The man that...
We should get Kano on this. Never mind.
We really shouldn't. It's al-sharaa, which I wasn't allowed to do as a headline because not enough people know who al-sharaa is, apparently.
Yeah, because he keeps changing his name.
He does keep changing his name, and we're going to get to that because Ahmad al-sharaa has made history this week. He is the first Syrian head of state to visit the White House since the country gained independence from France in 1946. Long time.
I forget that Syria are French. They don't seem Well, they're not. I've put my foot in it already. But
they don't seem spiritually French. I think the Syrians would agree. I think they would absolutely
power
agree.
to the people. No, I forget that there was a French mandate for Syria, is what I should have said.
I was going to say, and the Angolans. I mean, Portuguese, really?
I mean, there's no like Syrian ballers on the French team, Syrian-born ballers.
No, there is the Algerian sort of like the lads who came over with like, their families, generations past.
Kareem the Dream Benzema. Now that's some big bald leadership.
Big bald. I mean, hey, Zinedine Zidane. The ultimate big bald leadership.
I'm distracting. Who is al-sharaa?
Al-sharaa is perhaps the most fascinating man on the planet right now. His visit to the White House follows his first encounter with Trump back in May, which produced some of the greatest sound bites, I think, of the year, to sort of preempt our New Sensation end of year special that will be coming up in about a month's time, which is crazy to think about. The meet cute happened in Saudi Arabia as a result of the orchestrations of Saudi Arabian leadership, so literally Mohammed bin Salman, and Turkish leaders, with Trump later describing al-sharaa as young, attractive guy, tough guy, very strong past, fighter.
Not as handsome as me. Al-Mamdani.
No, I think there's a real sense in this. It's classic Trump being a little bit fruity.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot.
In his former life.
Look at us, beautiful guys.
Have you seen the clip of him
really nice
and
guys.
Giuliani?
There's no way he can get fruity over Rudy Giuliani.
There's a clip of them kissing, Matty.
What?
There's a clip where I'll link it in the show notes. Rudy Giuliani is dressed as a woman, and he's doing some weird sketch, and it ends with Rudy Giuliani kissing Donald Trump on the lips.
This feels like an inverse of when Rudy Giuliani got caught on Borat 2.
He was so ashamed of that clip, he had to pivot to the opposite in his personal life.
Pivot to drag, yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean, Trump is the greatest drag queen that never was. It's devastating. No, but what is the strong past of al-sharaa that he's talking about? It's often the first thing that you will hear about the Syrian leader, and it should really come as no surprise, because under his jihadi nickname of Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, he was an al-Qaeda fighter in Iraq.
Oh no, that's a red flag for me. That's got to come out on the first date.
You should not message me if you were a jihadi fighter in Iraq.
Hey, at least he's political. At least he cares.
At least he cares. You know, he's got strong opinions. He attacked both U.S. forces and the Shiite majority, which, when I was looking up how to pronounce that, I was sat next to my mother, pressing the Google sort of like pronunciation thing, and it just over and over me looking at her, sort of giggling, going Shiite. Shiite.
It sounds like a slander name. It's like Shiite majority.
Yeah. I mean, and this is one of the beautiful things about when we do this show going all over the world, is that we find things that really translate interestingly across cultures.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, this is not me slandering the Shiite majority. It's just funny that in the English language, specifically in certain regions, shite and shite, especially in Manchester, have certain connotations. But he was detained by the US while in Iraq and held for over 5 years without being charged. And we'll come back to his former relations with US forces. Around this time, he was known for like truck and car bomb attacks.
Right.
We met him at a very... No, I'm not going to make that joke. Anyway, in 2011, Al-Qaeda Iraqi leader... Oh, he's back! Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
He died like a dog.
Beautiful dogs. We had the beautiful dogs. Sent al-sharaa back to Syria amid the civil war, where the future president founded the al-Qaeda branch known as the Nusra Front.
Yes.
Which, I mean, if you were really into sort of like following the news in the mid-2010s, you would have heard that a lot, not realizing what it would go on to mean.
Well, al-Nusra Front came up in our Lafarge story, didn't they? About the French cement company that ISIS was a fan of.
Well, yeah, if you want to tune into last week's episode, go back and listen to that one. It's a fascinating story.
For legal reasons, that's as much as I can say.
Fortunately, I can say quite a lot about al-sharaa because a lot of it's on record. Now, this is at this point, 2011, when he returns back to Syria, is where a lot of important dominoes begin to fall that get us to where we are now. When al-Baghdadi formed Islamic State in 2013, yeah, that's right, top dog.
They're that young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's like it's a culmination. Al-sharaa actually at this point had a sort of like pivotal crossroads moment where it's like, do you go with al-Baghdadi and join Islamic State, or do you go really the complete opposite and stick with al-Qaeda?
We've all been there.
We've all been there. It's like the end of like Golden Balls. Do you stick or do you split or steal? Al-Qaeda or Islamic State? At this point, you have this split. But al-sharaa sticks to al-Qaeda and ends up fighting a lot of Islamic State forces in Syria amidst the sort of, clusterfuck of that civil war.
Yeah, wow.
In 2016, al-sharaa unmasked himself. He had appeared on sort of Al Jazeera under in disguise, he had the glasses on with a big nose and mustache. He had the Groucho look going. No, he unmasked himself and severed ties with al-Qaeda. His group became Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or the Organization for Liberating Syria. And al-sharaa started to make appearances in sort of military garb, really going for what you often see out of military leaders, where eventually becomes a sort of clean-cut kind of persona. In 2021, he gave an interview to an American network for the first time and claimed his group posed no threat to the West and called for a lifting of sanctions. And this is 4 years ago, and we're sort of seeing kind of the culmination of that now.
Even without the, how you mentioned military leaders and, when they go into roles in peacetime and leadership roles. There's obviously the Ibrahim Traore in Africa who continues to wear his military garb.
Yeah.
Al-sharaa recently has been wearing a suit. but he still looks terrifying.
Oh, well, he looks like a guy who has been fighting sort of like guerrilla wars for the last 23 years. Which, I mean, I wonder why.
I bet he's got a firm handshake. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not all I'm going to say.
He probably swallowed the tiny hand of the Donald in a big, strong grip. Very big grip. Strong grip. Anyway,
you should play golf with him.
He could probably swing it.
Probably.
A golf club. The last 12 months have seen in Syria the fall of the Assad regime and the establishing of a transitional government led by al-sharaa. But in this sort of rush of change, old ideas remain, which brings us to Monday's meeting. Now, for Trump, it was an opportunity to talk investments. If you've been following everything going on with the Ukraine, this should not be surprising. Syria has a lot of petroleum and natural gas, so Trump is rubbing his little hands together, excited about the possibility of that. But for al-sharaa, it was a further demonstration of a global Syria, which is so strange to think about.
Global Syria.
Yeah. A Syria that is kind of part of an international community.
It's wild to think about. I mean, there was... I think before the Assad dynasty came to power, before Hafez Bashar's dad came to power, there was Syria and Egypt were united in the United, it's called the United Arab State or something, not to be confused with the United Arab Emirates.
No.
But they had like a pan-Arabist ideal, which is like the whole top of that continent and the Arab world. But yeah, Syria, as you say, has been a pariah for ages.
It really has. And so this is like a really fascinating time. And look... Syria formally confirmed its membership of the global coalition against Islamic State. I mean, technically, I don't think they released a full statement themselves, but this is what the White House basically said, is that they've joined. There's 90 members of that coalition, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
That's a lot of people going out. Imagine being Islamic State. You're thinking, fuck. That's a low block. 90 men in the box? Fuck.
I'd, honestly, if I were them, I'd hang it up. Right now.
Yeah. They are kind of washed. And yeah, like al-sharaa has actually been fighting Islamic State for over a decade, but this is like a formal moment to kind of go, the forces that have been doing that are now going to join the international forces.
Yes.
And I don't know if I actually might have mentioned this later on in the piece, but he has formally involved the Kurdish forces are now being folded into the Syrian army, and that's a huge step forward.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting then that like he's got these connections with Turkish leaders that organised the meeting in May, because it's like, well, what would that mean for like Turkish and Kurdish relations, which are obviously fraught, to put it lightly.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Kurds' work with Lemon Kurd. They did a very good job.
That's so silly. Chris supplying a nice little douse of silliness as a story here. Earlier in the week, actually, al-sharaa was operating outside of the MAGA sphere, joining world leaders at the COP30 summit in Brazil, where the Trump administration is notably absent. There have been some US officials that have gone and been involved, either from former administrations or what have you. But yeah, the lack of America at this summit is the main headline.
You think he would have gone and visited his pal Bolsonaro in Brazil?
What, visit him in prison?
Yeah, that jail visit.
On like the phone in like the two-way mirror sort of thing.
No touching.
How you doing, Jay? As he so what al-sharaa was there for was to pledge serious commitments to limiting climate change. And where this actually aligns with his negotiations with Trump around natural gas and petroleum is yet to be seen. Obviously, America is moving away from the sort of climate change narrative.
Yeah.
Is it that he's doing a bit of a fire sale on petroleum and natural gas to America while the opportunity is there, and climbing out of poverty, and then getting involved in things like investments in green energy? We're yet to see. But it's really interesting that he's playing both sides there. Now, Washington has lifted the terror designation, which put a $10 million bounty on al-Sharaa's head of his group in the weeks after his ascension. The UN Security Council have already voted to lift sanction on al-Sharaa and other Syrian government officials, and Congress are set to vote on making their repealing of sanctions permanent, which al-Sharaa is looking like really pushing for, because at the moment it's hard to get any investment while it's temporary, because they're wondering, are the sanctions going to come back? Now, there are some serious question marks. What will his 5-year interim period of Islamic law hold? What measures can help lift 90% of the country out of poverty?
Sorry, just go back over that. 5-year interim period of Islamic law.
Yeah, so he's been saying for a long time that is like Syria needs stability through Islamic law.
Right.
And what that ends up meaning, we don't know. But as we've seen with Arab states that have aligned with the West, there is a chance of a more liberal take on Islamic law. This isn't necessarily full-blown Sharia, and certainly not the Islamic law that you'd see many Islamists kind of arguing for. Especially when you realize that he's more appealing to a Sunni minority rather than a Shia minority. But yeah, 90% of the population is in poverty. How do you handle that? Can violent tensions between the various ethnic groups be settled? That's kind of at the heart of all the civil war. And funnily enough, will al-Sharaa's commitment to ridding Syria of the influences of Iran and the Iran-funded Hezbollah help their American-backed security deal with Israel? Israel did invade Syria not long after al-Sharaa's ascension. So it's really a little bit, a little bit way at the moment. But we shall see. But for now, the former Abu Mohammed al-Jilani is really on an international break to remember.
Well, Matty, I think that you've educated people very well there.
Thank you.
I'm now going to flush all that out of your head with a story about...
Rot.
Yeah, with a story about Roblox. So I think the BBC, Matty...
I love this game.
Who we really shouldn't be relying on the BBC at the moment to sum up any story. But I think they headlined it best. Texas sues Roblox for putting paedophiles and profits over safety. I should say that putting paedophiles and profits is in big, shiny, golden quotation marks. Big. Hung on the wall next to a big moose's head. And but this is about Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Absolute nutter.
He has a colourful past, doesn't he?
Big quotes on that.
And I think nutter's protected speech.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But he says he's suing the Roblox Corporation for, and I quote, putting pixel paedophiles and profits over the safety of Texas children. Pixel paedophiles and profits?
Yeah.
That's an indie band. He called the online game a playground for predators. Wow. And that's really the whole internet.
Isn't that most playgrounds?
I don't know, Matty, is it?
Okay, I'm not the expert on this.
His actual allegation is that Roblox is flagrantly ignoring state and federal online safety laws while deceiving parents about the dangers of its platform. So Texas joins Kentucky and Louisiana in suing Roblox, who has been on the receiving end of quite a few lawsuits in America. I see the smile on your face, but hold the joke for this next bit.
Okay.
This is very dark.
Oh.
So this follows cases in which children were groomed on the platform, with some being threatened, and one child who was allegedly groomed having committed suicide. I'll tell you when you can make jokes again.
Okay.
Roblox also banned a user called Schlep, who had been groomed on Roblox after he worked with law enforcement to pose as a young player and catch predators.
Oh, the Dateline NBC classic.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can now make jokes again, Matty. I'll press play.
Press play.
Because that is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
He's getting pedophiles off your platform, but to save face, you're like... Oh,
there's not pedophiles on the platform. We don't need a pedophile hunter.
Exactly. They gave him a cease and desist.
Right. Well, the thing I was going to make a joke about, the reason I was smirking, wasn't because I'd read ahead and read the horrific stuff that was to come, but because it's when you said that Louisiana's on the state suing them. I can never, whenever I hear about Louisiana in a court, all I can think of is like, I do declare, this Roblox is a violation to the safety of our children. It's a playground for predators.
Well, Roblox have said that Paxton's lawsuit is based on misrepresentations and sensationalized claims. Sensationalized claims?
Sensationalized claims?
No, we always tell the truth, don't we, Matty?
Yeah, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God.
Exactly.
We're just
help me God!
So help me God. Like our hips, we do not lie.
Yeah. So here's a brief summary of Roblox in case... you've been living under a block.
Yeah.
It's an online game universe where you can join a server as a blocky type of character and play all kinds of mini games. So there's tens of millions of daily users. People can also design their own games. And when I say people, I mean predominantly children.
Yes.
Which is another separate big problem that Roblox has faced. Allegations that they are exploiting children's free labor. Whole of a kettle of fish, but very worth looking into.
The children yearn for the mines. And they're trying to win them over for Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. That's given rise, the fact that people can design their own games, to Roblox sex games.
Right.
Or condos, which are online user-generated spaces where players can chat about sex and the avatars can have virtual sex.
Why is that in the coding?
I mean,
allegedly.
This breaks Roblox rules. So I should go without saying, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So these spaces are normally taken down within the hour.
Yes.
Normally.
But who among us, as a young person, perhaps too young to be on multiplayer online games?
Are you about to tell me about your e-sex adventures on Club Penguin?
Didn't get up to some weird, raunchy scenarios now and then, you know?
I mean, I never... Anyway.
I never did, but...
Roblox has also been banned.
But I bore witness.
Yeah.
I bore witness to it. Your Honour, I saw it.
You were even the cook online. Craft this guy a chair. For God's sake. Roblox has also been banned for child safety and moral concerns in China, Turkey, Qatar, Iraq, and Oman.
Right.
Which, to be fair, a lot of things are banned in those countries.
There are a lot of things banned in those countries.
Notably, though, it's not going to be covered by Australia's social media ban, which comes into force next month. And
most things are.
Yeah, a lot of things. There's 9 big sites, but I mean, there's quite a strong case for Roblox that they should ban Roblox.
Well, especially with their track record.
Yeah, there's a lot to come up in this story. But in 2023, the Singaporean government said a self-radicalized teenager had joined ISIS-themed Roblox servers, in which I'm sure Matty was sat there on a chair watching it all unfold. And this replicated real-life conflict zones like those in Syria.
Why?
Well, I mean, we'll find out because another incident occurred earlier this year where an 18-year-old user was placed into custody after planning an ISIS-inspired terrorist attack.
So statistically speaking, both these kids were gingers, right? You've seen that, haven't you?
No.
There's some report, and again, I'm going to say all this allegedly because it's the internet.
Ginger, there's too many ginger people to sue.
But like, there was like of the proportion of like white, I think Britain specifically, but like white people in general who have been radicalized into some type of jihad. There was like an extraordinary number of them were ginger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they can't. We could take them all. I reckon.
All the gingers.
We could take them all.
No.
Yeah. Much love to the ginger fan base out there. Our logo is ginger in a manner of speaking.
My logo's ginger, please.
May it please the court.
Your Honour.
So in late 2024, the investment investigator Hindenburg Research,
that's an interesting name.
I think they should have done a bit more research. It didn't go very well. Called the platform an X-rated paedophile hellscape.
So many jokes I want to make there. I just really can't.
Following this, Roblox updated its parental controls and got rid of direct messaging for users under 13. I should hope so. Yeah. And added new content labels. But last week, The Guardian ran a story headlined, and this is a beautiful headline, Matty.
Okay.
My chilling week on Roblox, sexually assaulted and shat on as a child avatar roaming the online world.
Right, that's horrifying. But
that is awful. The article notes that Suffer, which is a Roblox shooting game in which you can chop other players' arms off with swords, is rated suitable for 5-year-olds.
Not sick.
Yeah, sick and twisted.
Sick and twisted.
It talks about the pay-to-troll phenomenon, which on Dress to Impress, which is probably the most popular Roblox minigame.
Absolutely.
It's got its kind of own following outside of Roblox. Mm-hmm. You can pay real money to surround other players that you disapprove of with a pile of shit.
To be fair, that's just following the example of President Trump, who made an AI video of him dropping dung on the streets of Chicago.
Trump would love Dress to Impress.
Yes.
Again, Rudy Giuliani video, link in the description. Some characters are wearing outfits which show them as completely naked.
Right.
And others are sitting on people's faces and thrusting.
Teabagging. Or...
I wouldn't
more
say
explicit.
It's more of a thrust than a squat. I mean, I don't.
Okay.
You know,
so it's not like prime Halo days.
No, I don't think so.
To translate it for a millennial audience.
Yeah, no, the Halo is definitely,
it's more the devilish horns of the Roblox community.
The journalist who wrote this article said that a friend reports that her 10-year-old son is hooked on a game called Prison Pump. I'm called fresh meat on entry and taunted for being a weakling. I have to start pumping iron or pay for more muscle. It isn't long before 4 giant hombres beat the life out of me.
Bad hombres. This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
This is wild.
Kids used to play cowboys and Indians, and that was insensitive enough. Now they play 4 bad hombres in the prison shower.
Now they have to pay to pump iron.
How about you lift some weights, bro?
I'm 3. We'll leave it to the courts, though, to adjudicate this lawsuit. As much as I really wish Matty could do his Louisiana lawyer voice.
Your Honor!
Yeah. But as for this universe of lowest common denominator slop games that are often created by children, I certainly wouldn't miss it.
No.
I mean, you have Minecraft that's visually stunning. You have Roblox, which looks like,
We must protect the children. We must protect the children from the... Dab my head.
Are you feeling all right? Feeling all right, counsellor?
We are not going to play victim to the prayerful hands of the Roblox community.
Well, here's the story next, Matty, that I think will have quite a few more impressions. If you can get your voice high enough, that is. And we know you can.
Oh, yeah. Freak tenor, your brother used to call me.
Which
your brother al-sharaa. Anyway, we're talking about GB's worst BG. That's right, the Gib we all like to forget about. The resignation of the BBC's Director General Tim Davie and CEO of News Deborah Turnus have made debates about political bias the major headline of the week, it must be said. But as Trump's potential billion-dollar lawsuit draws the spotlight, who is this story really about? Well, some insiders at the Beeb are calling the end of Davie's tenure long overdue and are viewing his nothing-to-see-here approach of the last week an echo of his leadership throughout, which I think for even outside observers we can go, oh, absolutely.
Remind me what political party he stood as a councillor for again.
Was it the Conservative Party? The Conservative Party's sway on that board is ridiculous, and we're going to get to that. But what annoyed them most, because there was actually a Q&A, and they had to go into the comment section to even ask these questions, and they were still flatly ignored, was the refusal to address the allegations of a coup by the British right. A very British coup indeed. Read that book, it's a great book. And rumblings of coups really aren't that surprising. Sean O'Grady, who is the associate editor of The Independent, wrote a fantastic article this week. And in it, he coins a phrase that I will be using probably for the rest of the year. The right-wing illiberal metropolitan elite, an underreported conspiracy, have long since made their minds up that they'd be better off without a source of independent facts and news, and their media interests as well as their ideological agenda would also profit from the loss of BBC competition, especially online. And that's quite a clear reference to
Roblox.
GBBs. GBBs and Roblox, the two great radicalizing hellholes.
I mean, if they've already got Nazi servers on Roblox,
they really do. There's definitely
too far to suggest that they might have a GB News.
Are we raising the colours on Roblox, boys? Anyway, at least those flags won't be tattered and shitty after a few weeks.
Prison Pump does sound a little bit like fascist fitness.
It really is. Go back to our Flag Shaggers episode for like a really in-depth breakdown of the British far right.
I think if you're placing, awards predictions for the end of the year,
that was
a good story.
That was my coup de grace. We're talking coups. Now, the institutional bias in favour of the left, which friend of the show Farage is trying to peddle, and again, friend of the show used there to determine who is really the enemy of all that we hold near and dear. It runs counter to the emerging reports of how the crucial meetings that played out among the BBC board really had a different kind of bias at play, with question marks over the editorial experience of the vast majority of members, which is quite concerning. The man said to have held a lot of oxygen in the room is Sir Robbie Gibb.
Where did he get this knighthood from, Matty?
Theresa May's outgoing New Year's honours. Yes, Theresa May's former communications chief, Gibb was appointed to the board by Boris Johnson, alongside Richard Sharp, who you might remember resigned 2 years ago over links to a secret loan of up to £800,000 back to Boris.
Also, Theresa May's former communications chief, I wouldn't brag about that.
No, I wouldn't. He was also in charge of messaging around the report. He helped them out in messaging around the report in 2021. The race issues report that was famously seen as terrible.
Yeah.
This was the one that came out in the wake of the Black Lives Matter protests and basically said to call the Britain institutionally racist is absolutely ridiculous and doesn't hold up at all. And literally every expert in the country went, who signed off on this? Well... one man.
That is such a big thing to bring up. I was thinking of fields of. We used to run through the fields of wheat.
Oh yeah.
Someone get a proper comms team.
Theresa May, the dancing queen. Her messaging was quite shambolic. I mean, famously, she tried to make herself the sort of like pariah of Brexit for going to the Commons 3 times in a row with practically the exact same deal and being shot down 3 times. And then I had people saying to me, "Oh, I feel bad for her." Why?
Would you like the deal if it had a false moustache on?
I would. I find it funny. I find it funny and charming. Which, of course...
That's how we got Boris.
That's how we... Wow, no. I'd go for a pub with a fake mustache. Anyway, Gibb has extensive experience at the BBC, to be fair. And he's spent the last 30 years rotating between positions in TV, where he was involved with things like Newsnight, The Andrew Marr Show, among others, and roles within the Conservative Party. Like, he started in TV as soon as his brother became an MP. He started working with the Conservative Party. Then he flipped back and forth. His real period of absence came between sort of 2001 and then kind of the 2010s. Actually, it's more 2001 up until about Theresa May's time, which reflects a time where the Tory Party really wasn't in all that great nick.
Yeah, and they also had the Bee Gees revival tour.
Well, absolutely. Now, between his time with May and his return to the BBC, Gibb was an editorial advisor at, have a guess.
New sensation?
Oh, close! GB News. And in 2020, he became the director of the Jewish Chronicle, having headed a consortium that saved it from liquidation, with funds he refused to comment on when asked about where they came from, starting a campaign to push the paper, in the words of Chronicle journalist Lee Harpin, at which he was explicitly told this, well to the right of the Tory party. Yeah.
Well, you managed that, mate.
Yeah, you really managed that. In 2021, the year he was appointed, Gibb was accused of attempting to block the appointment of Jess Brammer as editor of both BBC News and BBC World News channels. Why? Because Brammer was editor-in-chief at HuffPost UK, who dared in all their gall, to scrutinise Equalities Minister Kemi Badenoch over the equalities that Gibb was part of the messaging of. Oh, it's so dirty. Which is why in 2022, Emily Maitlis referred to him as an active agent of the Conservative Party. If you really want some really interesting takes on Gibb, the newsagents... is a hotbed of Gibb hate. Yeah. And because they both have personal beef with the man. In August 2024, he departed as director of the JC a month before the Chronicle had to apologise for publishing fabricated stories about Gaza. This was a key reason why, in July of this year, an open letter from 400 media figures, which is a lot of media figures to agree on anything, raised concerns over Gibb's role in editorial decisions, including the infamous dropping of the documentary Gaza Medics Under Fire, which would eventually come out on Channel 4, but which the BBC scrapped under a sort of haze of all sorts of different scandals. Now, all of this led to Ed Davey this Monday calling on the government to remove Gibb from the board immediately and end the practice of political appointments, to which Starmer replied, "Nah, I don't feel like it." It very explicitly went, it's up to the board to decide that. He is the board. What do you mean?
If Starmer also is thinking that in the future maybe he'd get a political appointment, he doesn't believe in anything.
No.
I don't know who he would pick.
But then again, does Nigel Farage?
I think he is. I feel.
Or does he believe in his own power?
Yeah. Although, honestly,
because he seems to pivot quite a lot.
If Keir Starmer were more serious about his own power, you'd think he'd be doing a bit of a better job. It's like, are you even self-serving?
Yeah, and this is why we're organising a queue and blaming it all on Wedge Streeting.
Of course.
To lead to the ultimate ascension of the King of the North.
What should my nom de guerre be, Matty?
What's your nom de guerre be?
We went through a Wu-Tang name generator back in the day.
Abu Patel.
He was a vulgar bastard.
Vulgar bastard,
And I was a merciless conquistador.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I think that's like a left-wing, right-wing. We could be the rest is politics.
It really is. Disagreeing agreeably.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that they never disagree on anything.
No.
The rest is history disagree on more stuff than they do. But yeah, no, I mean, taking the Childish Gambino method, vulgar bastard for PM, I think works. I'll wear a disguise until eventually I start walking around in military garb.
All caps when you vote for the man.
We're crossing some serious niches here.
We are.
But yeah, Ed Davey was saying all this because he wanted to ensure the BBC's independence, impartiality and trust. And Scotland's First Minister, John Swinney, really echoed this when he called Gibb's position untenable and said that it fuels that doubt and debate about impartiality. And look, Davey also pointed out that White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt, friend of the show, tweeted out on Sunday that everybody should watch GB News.
I mean, if you want your brain to turn into an Apple core.
Yeah. Well, it's all an extension of when Dominic Cummings basically said about 6 years ago that he wanted to scrap the BBC and replace it with a UK equivalent of Fox News.
Who the hell was the first guy to say we should start listening to Dominic Cummings?
I don't know. Probably Boris, which, I mean, famously you shouldn't listen to on anything. Now, is it too far to say that through his position on the board, Gibb, I mean, he has pushed the Overton window further to the right to the benefit of the company he has career ties to?
No, too far.
Too far to say.
Too woke.
Absolutely.
Too woke.
Woke-arati.
Yeah, you're acting like al-sharaa over here. Come over all woke all of a sudden. I thought I knew you.
I thought I knew you as a true jihad. Now, GB News has been a lifeboat for many other Tories who have jumped ship in recent years. You sort of your Dean Dorrises.
Eamon Holmes.
Eamon Holmes. Good Lord. The ultimate accidental partridge man. Rather like a party we talk about a lot on this show. A lifeboat for former Tories. But as Farage, as Grady put it, dances on the BBC's grave, has he overplayed his hand, Chris? You see, scrutiny of Gibb is only growing, and it seems this crisis of the BBC has revealed a subliminal right-wing power structure more than any left-wing bias. So maybe don't hop on Nick Ferrari to revel in the moment before seeing how the nation responds. We'll see how it plays out over the next week.
He might have put his foot in it there.
He really might have.
A Hungarian man has just completed the longest video game marathon ever. And without looking at the script, Matty, what do you already know what game it was?
I don't.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Doing the longest game marathon ever to Dance Revolution is insane.
Yeah, surely like Minecraft would be easier. Although
Yes.
maybe it's hard to sit for 6 days, which is as long as this was, without falling asleep.
But dancing for 6 days, it's like, that's biblical.
It is really rough. It's 144 hours, this record. And it's, if you're not familiar with Dance Dance Revolution, it's that game from all the arcades that you have the dance pads and like the railings round, and you just boogie down.
For reference, 144 hours, isn't that longer than that guy was stuck in between two cliff faces and cut his arm off?
Are you saying you should have just played Dance Dance Revolution?
No, what I'm saying
to
is it's
pass
like
the time.
What I'm saying is,
God, this boredom's killing me.
After 127 hours, that man was so desperate that he cut his arm off. 144 hours of Dance Dance Revolution. This man was 127 hours in. He was still going. He's like, I've got 17 more in me.
You've clearly underestimated 34-year-old Szabolcs Csépa. He was an IT engineer from Budapest who's just been awarded the Guinness World Record for the attempt. And he danced to over 3,000 songs and burned 22,000 calories.
Davina fit over here. My
yeah,
goodness.
And honestly, the cocaine must still be pure in Hungary.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. The record that he broke was set on Just Dance. So another dancing game. And it had stood for 10 years. It was set in 2015.
Right.
So Csépa also holds records.
A brighter time.
Yeah. He also holds records, this guy, for the longest video game marathon, playing a puzzle game, playing a racing game, playing a simulation game, and playing a Naruto game, which is like a Japanese comic book series.
Now, I would say that like the puzzle game thing might be the worst, because after you've done like too many crosswords too many, or a few Sudokus too many, your brain starts to hurt.
It really does. You can feel it. It's palpable.
Yeah.
This is a guy who knows a puzzle night.
I love a puzzle night.
Szabolcs goes by Grasshopper online, which is a name he was given as a child because he wouldn't stop jumping around.
Jump up and get down.
Exactly.
I mean, you finally put that to good use.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, IT engineer all day.
Yeah.
You probably just have to cut a rug when you get home from work. He said that this attempt...
He's got Saturday Night Fever, Chris. It's terminal.
He's speaking of the Bee Gees again.
Really
bringing it back. He said this attempt was the most physically demanding he's done, obviously. As standing for long hours is not something humans are designed for. But in gaming terms, he said it wasn't that difficult, as you don't have unpredictable actions. Like if you're racing people in a racing game, you never know what they're going to do.
Right.
But in a dancing game, you just got to follow the beat, baby.
Follow the beat,
and
baby.
take another bump. Oh, legend. No, we're not alleging that.
Oh.
No, as in we're not saying that he was on coke.
I was going to say, I was like, wow, that's a big twist.
I think he's just made of, or maybe he's like Freddie Gibbs. He's half man, half cocaine. But during the attempt, he took short seated breaks. So Guinness World Records rules stipulate that for every hour of video game marathons, you're allowed a 10-minute break. But into that 10-minute break, you've got to fit food, bathroom breaks, and sleep.
That's a lot to fit into 10 minutes.
I don't think you have to do it every 10 minutes.
Yeah, no.
But like, you're doing like army style micro
There's only a
sleeps.
few things I can get done in 10 minutes.
Honestly, I don't think you'd be in the mood after 6 days of DDR.
No.
But the marathon for the longest time sat watching TV is only 94 hours. 50 hours fewer than this dancing record. So maybe it's easier to be, dancing around than sat down for
You
long
need
periods.
terminal velocity, I think.
You need terminal. Do you mean like momentum?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just barreling towards the ground.
Yeah. Like,
longest skydive.
Well, because isn't terminal velocity the point where it's like you've hit a certain speed that you just kind of keep going at that level?
Yeah, I've heard it mostly in the context of people like falling from buildings or jumping from the sky.
Absolutely.
I think that's the next record for him. Longest time spent playing Dance Dance Revolution before you hit the ground and have to be removed from the pavement with a hose.
It's like the dearly departed guy from Red Bull, right? Who jumped from space. But this time with a dance mat.
He's dead.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make any jokes.
There you go. He's like, you were geared up.
Felix Baumgartner.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Yeah, you've caught us in a rare serious moment. Now back to silliness. If you're thinking of snagging a never before attempted world record, why don't you watch every episode of New Sensation? I mean, after this one, you've only got 25 hours to go.
I want to be in the Guinness World Records, but not as
not like this.
Not as the person setting the record, but as the person who is the object of the record. You know what I mean?
I mean, I saw a video this week of a man playing More Than a Woman on his wife's forehead.
I did also see that.
blowing raspberries on her forehead.
So
Honestly, that's the true love that I really want.
AI can't replace that.
We cannot replace
No,
it.
we cannot replace him.
Speaking of,
Pep Guardiola.
it was a loose segue. They're not all winners.
Oh yes, sorry. Actually, yeah, the monster, the man he created.
Yes.
Yeah. Famously, he is the Tai Lung of the Guardiola system. This story does quite prominently feature Lionel Messi.
Yes.
And Angola.
And goal! Goal.
Very good.
Thank you.
But why? Anyway.
Well, this is New Sensation.
This is New Sensation.
And of all the kind of...
all things are possible.
Is it kind of disparaging to say Angola is, in terms of the wider news coverage, lesser talked about?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when I was talking again, I mentioned that we were going to cover this to my mother, and she said, "I've not heard about Angola in years," and it's probably because the civil war ended in 2002, and then the rest of the world stopped caring.
I'm taking that,
which is the real shame.
I'm taking that to mean that your mum had a secret, double life in Angola, possibly during the civil war. Possibly she had a nom de guerre of her own.
My mum was in the minefields with Lady Di. We'll get to that.
She was coing them down.
Nice, I suited that. Now, this Tuesday marked 50 years of Angola's independence from Portugal. A country which actually you do see the Portuguese connection. The names are going to mention in this story a little bit Portuguese.
Yep.
But as part of the celebrations, they are set to host a friendly against the Argentinian national football team. Wow.
Aim high.
Aim high.
They are they're not number one ranked in the world, actually.
But they are the world champions.
But they are the world champions.
The world champions, but their arrival is beset by both political instability and medical concerns, as all great international friendlies are.
Yeah, GP Tom.
Now, the match, which is set to be held tomorrow at Angola's 11th of November Stadium, which is named after their Independence Day, has reportedly cost the oil-rich nation $13 million. Wow. But is it the nation that is oil-rich, or the party that has led it for the last 50 years? Including through 27 years of civil war.
The lack of a question mark in that sentence in the script suggests...
The answer is in the question. Let's crunch the numbers. Between winning their independence in 1975 up to 2002, the Angolan Civil War between the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, or the MPLA, which is the ruling party, and the National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, or UNITA, claimed between 500,000 to 1 million lives. Yeah, it goes from the funny thing of, wow, People's Front of Judea, Judea's People's Front, to, oh shit.
I always end up laughing through the wrong words, so I'm really trying not to. I think I've already messed it up with the Roblox story.
Yeah,
the joke I was gonna make was like, could we set up a third party that's even more superlative? Just like the fantastical and whimsical party.
The glorious revolution for the fantastic whimsy of the people of Angola.
Indeed.
Yes. Now, here in the UK, the lasting image of this war is probably Princess Diana walking across a live minefield in 1997, not long before her death.
The Rama Duwaji of her day.
Stop it. While visiting the country as a guest of the International Red Cross, and this is actually during a brief peace that was, eventually went back into war. But 2002 wasn't the end of civil strife in Angola. When João Lourenço took over the presidency in 2017, after 36 years of José Eduardo dos Santos, he promised to tackle corruption, diversify the economy, and create jobs. But Angola continues to be plagued by inequality. Now, according to the World Bank, as of 2018, about a third of the Angolan population lived under the international poverty line. And what do you think the international poverty line is?
Oh, you're asking the wrong...
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
What currency do they have in Angola?
Dollars. We're going to base it in dollars.
Poverty line. I'm guessing from your question it's going to be low.
It's so low.
I mean, I've heard about a lot of people in the world are being paid under $1 a day.
Yeah.
Let's say... Oh, am I close with that?
You're close.
Is it $2 a day?
Yeah, $2.15 a day. That's the international poverty line. So it's a low bar to not meet. When adjusted to the international poverty line for lower to middle income countries, which is basically when you kind of like remove the nations where it's abject poverty and no one's earning anything, that line moves a little bit higher to $3.65 a day, and then 52%, I was going to say half, 52% of the population, or 16.5 million Angolans, live in poverty.
Oh my God.
Insane. Now, the UN Food and Agricultural Organization reported that 22.5% of Angola's population suffers from undernourishment.
Matty told me that this would be the most funny story.
That I have.
that he has this week.
Yeah, but we'll get to it. Now, the youth unemployment rate, barring 2020, has been steadily declining for the last 15 years. As of 2024, it sat at 27.9% compared to 14.5% for the total labour force. And the MPLA was probably getting hot under the collar watching recent events in countries like Nepal.
Yeah.
But they had their own concerns because in recent years, there have been numerous youth protests relating to corruption, police brutality, hunger, poverty, and local elections. Again, it's my funniest story. Harshly repressed protests this past summer are actually what prompted Angolan civil society groups to write an open letter to the Argentinian FA and, I believe, the UNICEF-backed Leo Messi Foundation calling on them to withdraw from the friendly.
Now, we don't need any more evidence that he's the GOAT, but you're not writing to Ronaldo, are you?
Yeah, because he's not
Ronaldo.
going to Angola.
Well, exactly. If you call a Ronaldo to come to Angola, he'll be like, I'm staying in Saudi,
How
mate.
much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Drink water.
Drink water. Now, he was always a big fan of Danny Drinkwater. What a player. Crucial to that 2015-16 Leicester title. Now, keep laughing, Chris, because it gets funnier. The protest was sparked by rising fuel costs, starting among taxi drivers before spreading through Luanda, which is Angola's capital, especially among the desperate youth. Over 3 days, at least 30 people were killed, over 270 people were injured, and about 1,500 people were arrested.
This is so desperately sad, man.
It's so desperately sad.
This is not what I was promised at all.
Now, the reason we've got to cover this is because it's important for people to know that Angola's kind of flown under the radar in terms of like some really, really bad moments in the last year and actually the last few years. But ultimately, it looks like this friendly is going to go ahead. If it does go ahead, there's going to be some weird symmetry because they will do. Argentina will play without Julian Alvarez, Nawal Molina, and Giuliano Simeone.
Is he any relation to Diego?
Yes, he is. His son, who failed to complete health procedures related to yellow fever. All three play for Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid, and their potential absence from the controversial friendly is a peculiar echo of events last month. And finally, some light relief. During an international break where the three players did travel with the Argentinian squad, the remaining Atletico players played Inter Milan in Benghazi in a friendly
Hillary Clinton shotstopper.
in a friendly organised by the Libya Development and Reconstruction Fund, or the FDRL, because it's in a different language.
Yeah, but
FDR. But yeah, Libya split in twain between the more internationally recognised FDRL. And
Are you left Twix or right Twix?
That's so good. Now, their teammates won the clash on penalties and lifted the coveted Reconstruction Cup FDRL trophy, pick a name, in front of a reported 42,000 at the Benghazi International Stadium. In the words of our Lord and Saviour, Chris, football, bloody hell.
Wow. We've really, run the gamut today of, as I said at the start, the sublime to the absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're going to go really, really dark for this. No, we're not. At risk of making this podcast sound like a parody of itself, for the final story, a man from London had eye surgery, and it left him with involuntary hallucinations of a woman with large breasts.
City vision, diddy vision.
45-year-old retired teacher Mark Bryan. 45, retired.
Some people have it good, don't they?
I wonder if he retired because he couldn't control his pupils.
Well done, sir. He smashed that one out of the park.
He has diabetes, so he had laser eye surgery to remove scar tissue caused by diabetic retinopathy.
That's what the Red Hot Chili Pepper song is about, right? Removing scar tissue for retinol.
Well, now that Assad's out of a job, I mean, he could presumably do that. He was an ophthalmologist.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, no more fun facts about Bashar al-Assad because there aren't actually very many.
They're not very.
He
fun.
was one of the worst blokes that you'll ever meet. I hope you never meet.
I hope you never met him.
But for weeks after Mark Bryan's surgery, he experienced hallucinations, which he said were like having Pamela Anderson pinned to my face.
Oh no, my steak is too juicy.
He said this was inspired by a poster he used to have of Pamela Anderson in his room.
Right. So it's like the scar tissue then became the scar tissue of memory. You know,
You've made this story poetic in a way that it is not.
It's not. It's a guy who sees tits everywhere he goes.
He first saw this hallucination, which he nicknamed Tallulah, while frying sausages, and it would go on to appear without warning, even when his eyes were closed. Again, buttery, lobster, steak, juicy. My wife kept looking at me like I'd lost my mind. I just kept joking that I was going to run away with Tallulah. What a nice man. The hell is what the wives of England have to put up with.
Honestly, ladies, we stand with you.
Yeah, we've stood with.
Does
a
that
lot.
include Tallulah?
Yeah, we've stood with a lot this episode, haven't we? Angolan independence.
Yes.
You know, never lest we forget. It is on Remembrance Day.
Yeah, but also the freedom of the people of Angola from poverty.
Indeed, and the freedom of Angolans to hallucinate whatever they want.
Yeah, and the freedom of this man's wife from his bad jokes.
It turns out this hallucination was a result of Charles Bonnet syndrome, or CBS, which occurs after.
Any relation to Lisa? I'd like to close my eyes
Lisa
and see
Bonet.
Lisa Bonet everywhere I go.
No, well, I don't think so. And this occurs after people lose their sight. So CBS was first discovered in 1760. So back then, I imagine it was a large pair of ankles.
Yeah, I thought CBS came in about the 1950s.
No, that's the boring CBS.
Oh, okay.
This is the trippy CBS.
Okay.
Bonnet first discovered it in his 87-year-old grandfather, who saw men, women, buildings, tapestries, and carriages in front of his vision. There are cathedrals everywhere for those with the eyes to see. Also, maybe this is telling about what our patient, Mark Bryan, who only sees boobs, is looking at all day.
Yeah.
Allegedly. During surgery, the doctor put an air bubble in Mark's eye to help the muscle around the retina heal. Big mistake, because when the bubble wobbled, guess what else wobbled? It made the breasts very animated.
I'm sure it did.
And for the first 10 days, Mark wouldn't leave the house because he was busy. No, because he was hallucinating the breasts on people at his local shop and at Burger King.
Whoppers.
Oh, Pounder, I hardly know. Brian said, to be honest, I thought I might have lost my mind. Although it was hilarious, it scared the crap out of me as well. It kept popping up and wouldn't go away. It was like 10 days of someone jump scaring me. Ah!
Boom! Beeves.
He said he could only make the hallucinations. He said he could only make the hallucinations. I'm going to be Sean Connery for the duration.
So you can only make the hallucination go away.
By intense concentration or loud swearing.
Imagine like walking to Burger King and a guy then looks down at your chest and goes, "Fuck!"
It's a full boob out tonight.
Sorry to our headphone listeners now.
As the bubble in his eye slowly shrank, the breast that he was seeing became smaller. An effect I like to call the reverse Zach Polanski.
Oh no, he's going to go after us like he's going after nuclear energy now, Chris.
It was quite disappointing, he said. After 3 weeks, poor Tallulah looked more like a topless man.
Again, he gets more charming by the minute, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm not impressed with this guy.
No.
At journalism school, Matty, we learned about knobbly monsters, which is when...
What member of staff taught you about knobbly monsters, Chris?
Yeah, he's since been removed. No, he's not. We love you, Phil. But... that a knobbly monster
Phil's knobbly monster.
It's also... Oh, no. But he might listen to this as well. He's such a nice guy. But a knobbly monster is where you run out of basically synonyms for the same thing, but you don't want to keep saying that thing. Yeah. So it originated from when they were talking an article about a crocodile, and after crocodile like reptilian beast, they eventually landed on knobbly monster.
Nice.
But there were quite a few knobbly monsters in the article from the Mirror. We've got the saucy image, the busty vision, and Tallulah's once magnificent bust. You thought Al-Jalani had many names. Brian had a repeat procedure, but the hallucinations did not return.
No!
Fuck. Oh no, maybe he swore too much.
Maybe he swore too much. Yeah, done the procedure. Like they accidentally slipped up and he went, ah, fuck! And it's like, oh, it's gone.
If you want to experience the whiplash that I'm sure you did going from that horrific story about Angola, or the very enlightening, to that lovely story about boobs that was not enlightening,
yes.
Then you can hit subscribe. Please do. Tap the bell. Tap the,
yeah.
Whatever
if you're
it is.
beginning to see the lights or the vision of busts, then please do follow us. And you can email us with any of your story suggestions. If you've got some whiplash of your own that you want to give our audience, at newsensationpod@gmail.com.
That is newsensationpod@gmail.com.
But for now, he's been Chris Patel.
He's been Matty Curry, Al-Jalani.
Thank you for tuning in.